I just wanted to say a few words in light of all the just unqualified candidates Trump is putting in for Senate, potential Senate confirmation. And it's not an attack on Democrats, it's just more just voicing my opinion and perhaps some suggestions moving forward. Because, man, when you watch some of them, especially the Pete Hegseth, which is just, obviously if the tables returns, no Republican would vote for him. But of course, there's a bigger picture. They want Trump to be happy, and Trump has something up his sleeve where it's really going to cause damage with the politicalization of our armed forces. And more so, I think Trump wants to have someone loyal who would turn troops on American protesters. And then you have the Proud Boys out of release, its own personal militia. They're all working together. Something really nefarious is potentially in the works. But you have the Democrats in the Armed Services Committee, and doesn't it just seem like no emotion, no passion? Some of them appeared nervous, like looking down, fidgeting at their notes, like this, they just remind me of a dutiful, play by the rules type senator. Meanwhile, Republicans, right, they were coming in hot, not looking at any notes. The one loser from Republican Senator from Oklahoma, Mullins, is calling out senators for being drunk at times while casting votes at night. You know what I mean? The point is that even though Republicans are truly just not honorable, obviously, they hit the mark more though. And they've always done this. And in my opinion, you can see how an everyday normal American watching might really disagree with most of these Republican senators and their actions. But I feel like you can kind of, after a little while watching this, normal U.S. citizen, maybe starts agreeing a bit and gets annoyed with the Democrats' lecture type boring questioning. You know what I mean? Where it just seems like Hegseth is getting lectured and just almost disciplined like a parent, like a smart little parent that's lecturing their kid. And the Republicans, even though it's just shameful and not a way to act in the Armed Services Committee. I mean, these are senators, man. There's 100 in the entire country. Got to have more qualified people than this. But I'm just saying, I could see a everyday, not paying attention to the news all the time, just hardworking American, maybe start going off of the Republicans' point more. Why? Because it's all about emotion. I've been trying to say this. You got to speak to the people's emotions more. And I know it's unfitting sometimes, and it comes across as mean. But why not more comments like, "This is second, third, seventh, or whatever wife now? I can't keep up. I wasn't taught that at church. Were you?" Scream at Hegseth. And I know that there were veterans there that were supporting him, behind him. But then scream at him, look at him in the eyes, and have him look back at the crowd, at the vets there. And ask, is that what they all teach their sons and daughters? Is that what they grew up being, what's honorable? Do that, show them, and tell him to go look back and tell it and say that to them. More emotion, not just fidgeting, looking down, getting your points across. It's not resonating. Any questions on Ukraine or Russia? From what I can remember, I don't recall hearing any from the Democrats. Follow up then by saying, if you're so terrified, like a little kitty cat, to upset Trump, so you can't answer this question on Ukraine, or how you wouldn't answer on saying no if Trump asked you to send military on the American citizens, then why the fuck should Americans or U.S. troops trust you to lead and think for yourself and have a fucking opinion or answer? Say something like that. He can't even answer these questions because he's afraid to upset Trump. He wants to be the commander of the United States' armed forces. You can't think for yourself or have an opinion? Come on, it's not acceptable. Why didn't someone make fun of him for having his mommy go on fake Fox and clarify her own fucking words about him being unqualified. The Democrat senator say, hey, yo, if your mom doesn't trust you and doesn't believe in you, why should I vote for you? Isn't that a vote of no confidence right there? Were they too scared? Is it beneath the Armed Services Committee? I mean, I get it. It's not the way that they usually operate, but the Democrats have to start thinking and strategizing and executing differently right now, yesterday. And, maybe this kind of sums it up a bit. Democrats stitch together facts to form a narrative, while Republicans tell you a story to generate emotions. Then, after asking questions like this and following up and really confronting them, being more emotional, the candidates follow this up by having the Patriot media urge their audience to call senators. Put their phone numbers on the screen so everyday Americans can see it. We all can call every day. We must form a united and sustained front here. On this topic, the American people must also be reminded to call those senators that had the courage and fulfilled their duty by voting against incredibly unqualified candidates. That's also very important, right? Those who stood up and said no, we must also form almost like a barrier around them to say, hey, we appreciate that and we're here on your side as well, and we want you to know that we have your back. We must display a type of support and appreciation and network to let them know that we stand with them, because those that vote no will receive negative blowbacks. They surely will. But again, it is us that make this country great. And there are more of us than them. And we must constantly remind ourselves that, be united, be on a sustained front, and keep on pointing out what can be done better and how to do it.